Hip hop is what we do, man. It's the new movement.
This is Salam J once again, and you are listening to This House Is Not For Sale. Today, I'm here alone without Moshood. Moshood is not feeling well today, so I have to do this alone. And today, our guest is going to be somebody who has contributed a lot to pidgin music in Ghana. He's one of the 100, one of NPR's favorite artists in 2011.
Yeah.
And he went on a long break. I mean, he actually quit music, I believe, in 2012.
Yeah.
And now he's back again. He came back 2015.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we are here with no other person than Kay-Ara. Kay-Ara.
Thank you,
and talking about coming back, you recently came back from Mauritius. How was that?
So you guys are really checking my socials.
That's TINZ, that's what we do. You know.
Mauritius was an eye opener because for me it validated everything that I think about in terms of Ghana, because I really love this place. Like Ghana is my home, but it stressed me past, you know. And being that it's also in Africa, and their thinking is different, because funny enough, when I came back, I think 3 days later, I saw on Twitter that Mauritius is going to be the first country in Africa that's going to be a high income country, which means that it's going to be a developed country. So I was like, wow. And what I saw when I went there, because I was staying in Maibo, which is a village, like a 15-20 minute drive from the airport. It's a village, but it's better than Accra, you know. And even the way people move, listen, it's but Charlie, there's so much we can learn from ourselves, but I don't know what Ghanaians to do. So Charlie,
I feel you. I think I've been following you, I think, for some time now. You've had a lot of interest traveling around, you know, and it's always good to get out of bed, see what's happening there, you know, get inspired, and you know.
I see you traveling too, you know.
You know, about traveling. I remember there was a time when you asked me, why did I come back?
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, what's your position now? Why are you still here? If I may also ask, why are you still here?
Well, it's for me, I'm building something here, and this will forever be my home. I remember I went to see this consultant, an engineering consultant, and he was talking about how he's done projects for the government and they haven't paid him in years, you know, but he just classifies those things as national service, you know, and I think that's what I'm doing. Like, no matter what, I really love this country. I don't know why. Maybe it's a flaw, but I love this country, and I think I see where we can go. So for me, I may, even if I leave, I won't stay outside. I'll always come back and build. And I'm building something here right now that I know in the next 10, 15, 20 years will be something to be reckoned with. So for me, it's like, look, no matter the nonsense you come across, just be strong and keep doing what you gotta do.
So before we come back to what you're building here, at that point, what made you ask me why I came back? Where were you? What was the position back then?
Because I felt, you know, it's easy when other people can understand how you think. You know, if you appreciate it when people can understand how you think. And for me, I've always felt like in Europe or outside Ghana, people are more open to new ideas. And we are people that love to experiment and play with new ideas. So I was like, why this guy go France? He come back when he could be trying something there. You know, maybe trying YOYO things, branch in France or Paris or whatever. You know, so for me, that'd be how I was thinking. Like, you know, why say you come back? But I think I think you had your reasons, and I've met other people that are coming back to Ghana and who also have their reasons. Like, look, this is the place, and I've always felt like that. But I think sometimes I become frustrated. So I'm like,
I feel you.
you know,
I feel you because currently I'm also at a place where I feel like now I'm at a place where I feel like I want to check out. You know,
see?
I mean, the time you asked me that question, I was more like, nah. You know, I've always been that type that I always wanted to stay, even at the time when my colleagues were all planning on traveling. I always wanted to stay out because I always wanted to do something here. And also coming up with the TINZ, I felt like, you know, it's something I have and I have to build on it. But the frustration, man, you know, and also the difficulty in getting the business sense out of it, you know, I mean, which makes this podcast a very important one, because you are now called Kay-Ara the businessman. You know, so now it's more about the business and the music for you. Right. So you left. Before you left, were you practicing the music with a business sense, or were you just rolling?
Okay. When you say when I left, you mean like in the period of 2009, 2012?
Yes.
And I left, and then
Came back, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna be real because I'm always like, when you start off doing music in Ghana, you don't really have a plan. You know what I'm saying? You don't have a plan. You just rap. You just want to rap. You just want to sing. You just want to do all these other things. You know what I'm saying? And once you start doing these things, you just go with the flow. You think like, oh, maybe I'll blow up and, you know, get some money. Like that's, you don't have a plan for okay, let me speak for myself. When I started off, I had like a business plan. I had like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I was writing strengths and weaknesses and, you know, stuff like that, doing SWOT analysis and stuff, just to understand my market. But at the time, I didn't know how to really market to a certain demographic. All I kept doing was targeting the masses, forgetting what kind of music I do. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it was school and learning a lot in marketing and reading certain books that changed my perspective. But at that time, all I kept thinking was, okay, roll with it. When you become a star, you'll get an endorsement deal. Do you know why? Because the people before us hadn't been able to teach us the business plan or the business aspect of the music. You know what I'm saying? So everybody else was everybody else was just winging it. Nobody, like, I'm gonna say this, I'll probably get attacked for it, but we didn't get a blueprint from Reggie. To say, when you come in the game, this is what you got to do to get your money and secure your bag. Nobody said that. And you have role models, and those are the people that you look up to. You know, so for us, we just rap. When you get attention, you get signed to a record label, and then you get an endorsement deal. Maybe Glow or one of these network comes in, and you know, that's how everybody thinks. So that's what everybody is still doing. Do you understand what I'm saying? So some people just get lucky. And I'm saying this for your artist of the decade. They, you know what I'm saying? Like, you do your hard work, and then maybe someone on your team realizes these opportunities and then changes it. But we weren't thinking business. But for me, it has changed. The way I think about my music now has totally changed. So yeah. So long story short, yes, I was just rolling.
Shout out to Bread Knife. Bread Knife just walked in. That's what I was like. Okay, so I think I totally agree with everything that you've said, because I keep always telling the young ones out there that, you know, first of all, understand what you're trying to get out of the music, understand who your audiences are, and also understand that we all can be, or you all can be the Sarkodis.
Yes, exactly.
You know,
exactly.
you all can be.
You can
yeah,
be.
so you
have
understand.
to, yeah.
Understand it as a business and understand it as something that you are growing.
Yeah.
You know, so understand that it might take you 5 years to get to, or 10 years to get to wherever you want to get to, and not concentrate. That way you can comfortably create the way you want to create, and then target your audience the way you want to target them. Right. So when you left, what was this thing about you having to be a clergyman?
You know, this is like a widely broadcasted misconception, you know, that people have come to accept, you know, but I wasn't a clergyman. The person that started the rumor was One Love. You know, I think at that time I was reading a lot, you know, the Bible, and I sort of had, that was the only thing I had at the point, because I went through like the world totally my world ended in 2012.
Wow.
You know? It, like, everything changed, like perspectives changed, like so many things have changed since then. It was a traumatic time for me. I don't even remember certain things from that era anymore. I don't even, like, it's blank. You know, and the only thing at that time that I had was Christianity. You know, it was like, and I think so I started posting stuff on my Facebook, and I think some of my music people are like, you know, when a rapper quits, they all think he's quit for the faith. But I didn't quit for the faith. It so happened that I quit, I quit, and I wasn't like really interested in music. Like I lost my love for it, and I just started reading these books, and maybe it just said something about how I was feeling. So at that point, I was in like a transition. Well, it was a transitional period for me. So I was just reading a lot and having something to connect to. And then One Love, or, you know, started saying, and now everybody, you know, it's like, oh, Kay-Ara. I'm like, I'm not somewhere preaching, and, you know, but I was into it a bit till I pulled out. And I was like, wake up, dummy.
Right. So was it at that period did you decide during that period to pursue business, or you were already pursuing business? The business degree.
Yeah. So when I left, I'm a purist. I don't know how to juggle things. Right. So when I left, I went to school, and I've been someone who kept bashing school because I never really liked school. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, cool, fuck it. Can I swear on this? Oh, okay, cool. I can swear. Oh shit. You know, so I was like, fuck it, let me just go to school because that's what my parents want. I didn't even go because it was like everybody around me at that time had the whole, oh, you have to go to school, blah 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 blah, you know. So I went to school. I didn't want to, but it was the only thing there. You know, because I had all these plans, and then I went to school, and I like business. You know, I think it's the cool thing in me. So I just decided to go to school, and I sort of loved it because I love marketing. Like I've always, I think I'm a natural born marketer. You know, so I've always loved marketing. I was like, okay, make I go study the marketing. And when I was studying, I was reading Harvard Business Review. I was interning when I come home from vacation. I even worked for cereal at a point, you know, like I was always in that advertising industry or doing something on sales or working with VAT, you know, like I really love marketing. So whilst I was engaged in all these things, I ran for a position in school. I did my own brand activation as an SRC, like presidential hopeful. And some of the things that I did on campus, some of the strategies and campaigns are what people are using now, you know. So I did a lot of things. Like I got into guerrilla marketing, getting sponsorship. At a point I had 5 companies on campus, something that the SRC hadn't done at the time, and I did it single-handedly. Like I really started getting into it. And whilst I was doing it, I just started thinking like larger, like on a broader scale in terms of other businesses and brands and myself, you know. So that's where like
great. That sounds very interesting. So during this, so at what point in 2015 did you feel like, oh shit, I missed this music?
So truth be told, music started as therapy for me when I was a kid. You know, like I have a lot of things emotionally I want to express, and I read a lot. So it was either I was writing poetry or I was rapping, you know. So I never thought of like I used to write, you know. But what gave me life was music, like being able to rap on a beat and express myself and tell a story the way nobody else can. So music for me started as therapy. I had no commercial pursuit at that point. For me, it was strictly therapy. I write it to soothe myself. Then as I realized people liked what I was doing, so I just started, you know. So yeah, that like for me, when I 2015 was another crazy time for me, because at that time I was in love. I had this girl who got married the last year December, you know. I was in love with her, you know, and she broke my heart. And at the time she broke my heart, there was nothing I could go to. Nothing. Like I still have a blog. I just don't write anymore, but I was writing there, but it didn't have the same feeling, you know. So I just started writing again. And when she broke my heart, it put things in perspective, because I realized that I had been doing things for other people and really not for myself, like all my life. Even when I was doing music, like primarily, I do things not for myself. I sacrificed my true self for the people I love. Then around 2015, when this thing happened, I realized that all these people that I love that I was sacrificing for didn't give a damn. You know, like nobody really cared. Like all they cared was, oh, what Kay-Ara Goofy do for me, or what Rookie can do, or you know, it was never like true love. It was never like, oh, Charlie, this guy be my guy. You know, so my mind just switched, and I was like, wow, oh, so this is what it is. All right, then. Now I know, and I know I want to do this, and I know it's in my cards, so I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
So at that time, I just started, and 2015 was when I completed my HND, and then I was doing my service at the time, and then I just applied to do a degree, and I just did it. So I completed 2017. So I was in school for another 2 years, but I was schooling, working. I was a TA. You know, and during that time, oh my God, I was writing new songs. I changed my whole flow. I stopped like writing like 5 years ago, you know. I stopped writing punchlines and caring about playing with a lot of wordplay. I started like quotables and, you know, projecting where I want to see myself. Like my whole style changed when I started writing. And I think it was good I quit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because it gave me enough room to reinvent myself and come back.
Okay.
So yeah.
So in your coming back, was it like I'm coming back as Kay-Ara the businessman?
No.
Okay. So what happened?
So 2015, 2016 was also a transitional period again.
Okay.
So at that time I was Kay-Ara the druggie.
The druggie.
Yeah,
wow.
The drug lord or something like that. Because I was doing a lot of experimental drugs. I was trying to find myself. You know, at the time they had everybody was doing like, what's this thing called? This thing they banned. I'm not gonna say so the kids do it, but I was doing everything like except cocaine. But I was trying different stuff. You know, I don't know. I was just finding it was part of the process. So I had that, and then around that time, I reconnected with Yao P, and we created Neo Spirituals.
Neo Spirituals.
So Neo Spirituals was also like another. So from 2015, 2016, I was talking to Yao a lot, and then we created this because it's like we were thinking the same, and I'm like, how is this guy thinking like me? Like I've known this guy since 2008. it be now this guy they can't think like me, and it's like, oh, he was always thinking like that, just that we didn't have that conversation. So then I was doing everything. I was trying to find what the next Kay-Ara was. So I was Kay-Ara, like to drug something. I was also like an explorer. I was doing everything just to get to this position. So so it was all part of it. So 2015, 16, 17, Kay-Ara the businessman started somewhere late 2017. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the reason why you see all these different phases of Kay-Ara is because there's one Kay-Ara standing out, which is Kay-Ara the Phoenix. Now the Phoenix, I don't know if you know about, but it's a mythical creature that dies, like sets itself on fire and come back. So it's like I have phases. So when I'm going through when I started my mixtape, like Still Underground, when I changed the game, I was Kay-Ara the mic dude.
Yeah,
Kay-Ara the mic dude. Then I went to Kay-Ara the general, Kay-Ara the pimp, Kay-Ara this, and now I'm a Kay-Ara the businessman. Exactly. Right. And then I coined a new genre, startup rap. So yeah.
So which is very interesting for me, and also I think it makes sense a lot because in hip hop we consider entrepreneurship as one of the elements of hip hop. So for you to have gone through all those phases and then landed on Kay-Ara the businessman, I think it makes a lot of sense. And I would like to know wait first let me I think I received that aspect of your life through the internet when you started the whole Kay-Ara pictures,
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, this is something very interesting, to think that you want to start a business but want to sell your business with the music.
Yeah.
So it's not like you are just you're going to quit the music, but you're going to roll with the music. And I've never thought of the two. I mean, I always know that hip hop artists when they are entering into entrepreneurship, they invest in something. I've never seen the two
playing hand in hand.
Hand in hand together before. And also I think it was something that I've always been telling people, but your actions give clarity to it. Because what I've been telling people is that sometimes in our practice, right, we don't necessarily have to be. Some of us don't necessarily have to be on top of the food chain. Some of us actually need to use our experiences to divert into other areas. So let's say, for instance, if I was a rapper and I couldn't really make it, my experience, can I use it to manage somebody? Can I use my experience to set up a studio or create a foundation to have? It doesn't mean that I'm not a good rapper, or just that I probably couldn't figure out the route.
Maybe that wasn't even your path. Maybe you weren't supposed to be that. Maybe you were just supposed to be this investor, who believes in the arts.
Exactly.
Because it was a path you had to take, just so you could understand the next person who's going to be on that path and direct them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And even for me, I think my love for music early those days ended up me being in a studio trying to record. So I did that before. And,
I see.
Yeah. So after recording, I think they came back to say, they lost the file or something like that. I was like, nah, this is like a sign. So I thought maybe I'm supposed to be a person more behind the scenes, So I actually agree with what you're saying, and I think that people will sit down and analyze and see what's their direction. So for me, I feel like you've definitely analyzed and you found a direction, and you found out that you can use the music to push it. So can you tell me a little bit about your business now?
Okay. So Yeah, sorry about that. I just have to clear my throat in case there's any coronavirus. Yeah. Well, my business is basically building or constructing shipping container homes and offices and cabins. But that's not where my business ends. It's also I also do like landscaping. I also do renovations and stuff like that. But I think what actually caught on a lot is the shipping container idea, because I think us millennials are looking for affordable homes, and we are also looking for novel ideas. We millennials have this different streak of energy and creativity in us, so we like to explore other avenues as opposed to the traditional ones. So basically that's what I do. And in the evening I come out as Kay-Ara, the musician or the business or the rapper, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's basically what I do. Yeah.
Okay.
And to you know, draw more emphasis on the Kay-Ara pitches that you were talking about. Kay-Ara pitches started, it's in the same like evolution of who I am, but I realized that as a worker or as a graduate, trying to get jobs is one of like the hardest things ever. This is going to be a long explanation, so just be ready. But about you know, because when you complete tertiary, I say this for other people like me, right? You will be in school and your father's friends will be telling you they have a job placement for you when you complete. But once you get out, you realize it's a cold world. You know, so for me, when I completed and I was trying to get a job, okay, in the beginning I wasn't trying to get a job. I just wanted to do music full time, you know. But eventually I was like, whatever, I'm gonna get a job. I decided to tell the story of the guy that's completed tertiary and is trying to get a job, finally gets it, and is moving up the corporate ladder. Do you understand? So I want my EP that I will eventually put out, or my albums, to be that coming of age story that you sit down with your son and say, hey, listen to this. You know. And whilst I was in corporate Ghana, whilst I'm still here, but I'm saying, like, once I entered, I realized that I can't listen to a song on my way home that addresses my situation. Right. Because when I turn on the radio, all I hear is something about women or something about the hustle, you know, or fraud boys rapping about their clients and blah, blah, blah. But I don't hear anybody talking about how I come work with my boss, they stress me. You know what I'm saying? Or how I have to wake up at 5 a.m. or 4:30 to catch the bus and go to work, you know. So I was like, but you where you day here, you're the best person to tell the story. And that's when like I created Kay-Ara the businessman, because it's like, tell them what you do, and whilst you're telling them, they will also know about your business. Present yourself as who you are. You are an artist and you are also a businessman. Basically that was it. And then I just started. So initially I just, like, the EP is ready, you know, I started writing certain songs, you know, and then I was like, but this is the case where I rap, and this is the case where we have a nice product we can sell. So how can I sell this product? Okay, why don't you just do videos about it or adverts? But instead of doing adverts the conventional way, why not use something that you do yourself? So that's when Kay-Ara pitches were created. Now Kay-Ara pitches because I'm pitching my business. I'm pitching for a contract from you. So I put a 9-part series together and I said, look, when you see the thing in its entirety, it runs like a proposal. When you hear one, it sounds like an ad and a proposal as well. So that's when I just put it together. I said, look, let's do this, because nobody has ever done it ever in the world. You know, so that's something.
Well, as far as I know,
as far as I know, nobody does that. I know that. You know what I'm saying? And this is something I predict will be studied in schools in maybe in the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years. That I can tell how someone has combined these elements to, you know, promote. So yeah.
I mean, we're having a conversation about it now. So
so
definitely,
there you go. There you go.
So the container homes. Are they affordable? Are they really affordable homes?
Okay, so I'm gonna be a typical businessman on this one. It's affordability is relative. Okay, so some people will say something is expensive, and I say, well, maybe for you. You are pricing a studio apartment at 60,000 cedis. I could price it at 58,000 cedis, maybe 55 if I like the person, or if the person has certain materials or raw materials already, right? There's no way, right, you're gonna get that from your real estate in Accra. There's no way you're gonna get that. So compared to that, it's affordable. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't get that from your real estate agent. It's impossible. Because I'm giving you plumbing, electricals, you know, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So it is. My key or my vision is that I make it so affordable that someone that steps out of college can purchase it or pay an installment for a 2-year period. That is what I am aiming for as I sit here. Finding a way to tweak it so that people can afford it. Like they can say, okay, I'll put 40K down and get a home. That be my vision in the end.
Well, there's I think coming from this space, for a lot of young guys, it's actually difficult to save. So I think it's interesting that you were saying that you're looking at a space where people can pay installments. You know, and I've seen some of your work. I mean, we are sitting in this space now. It's a container office. You know, and I'm really, really impressed about the interior design, which you're also into. Interior designing and also landscaping. And I think the space and the outdoors, you know, speaks for itself when you work in here. So I'd like to congratulate you, and I'm glad that we are using we are using what we love to move in these directions, and then also keeping the energy going. And we hope that the young ones that are coming will follow suit and not feel like you were feeling some years ago that I need to get a hit. You know, but sit down to understand what their audience are and how to move, and hope that our generation will probably put something that could be used as a blueprint or as a stepping stone to because even we at YOYO TINZ, one of our biggest challenges, the business aspects, because most of us are just in the creative space, you know. So it's I think it's important that we have some of these conversations and also see how we can inspire each other to move in the business angle, you know. And
I think creatives need like business people around them.
Yes,
because we can't be creating and at the same time thinking about the finances. You know, it's crazy. A few people are able to do that. Like for instance, my creativity is suffering a bit because of business, because you're constantly thinking about how to make money. You can't constantly think about how to make money when you know you have songs to write. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like we need like consults that will help creatives and, you know, help them make money. And for me, what I have come to understand is that before you start on any journey, you need to figure out how to make money first from it. That is why I did Kay-Ara pitches. Like, if I tell you the budget for the 9-part series and I tell you the profit I made from it, you'll be blown away. So for me, before I do anything, I think about how I can make money from it. And it took a lot of will to learn that part, because we are creative, so we are governed by our emotions. Hey, Charlie, this idea be fire, and we say, yo, let's do it, but we don't like sit back and say, okay, we have the idea, but how do we make money off it? You know what I'm saying? So that's something that we all have to constantly look at and talk about.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay. So yeah, Kay-Ara, was great having you.
Thanks, man.
Great conversations.
Thanks.
We'll keep following Kay-Ara the businessman. And we hope that we'll enjoy more pitches. And learn from
definitely,
them.
Definitely.
And we hope that the businessmen out there would see all the things that we are creating, and then invest in us, or work with us, to get some business going. Okay, Kay-Ara, thank you very much. This house is not for sale. And or is it for sale?
This one isn't for sale.
This one is not
but
for
I
sale.
can build one for you.
I'll be happy. I mean, we'll be happy to have a container studio, a creative space, and so if you can hook us up, and if anybody out there has the budget to give to Kay-Ara, please do. Let's make this happen. All right, Vim.
All right, Charlie.
Hip hop is what we do, man. It's the new movement.